Julia Roberts, who is also known as America's sweetheart, is one of the most iconic actresses of all time, thanks to her ability to take on any role that's thrown at her. After her breakout role in the 1988 coming-of-age drama Mystic Pizza, Roberts landed a career-defining role 2 years later in Pretty Woman. A decade later, she won an Academy Award for Best Leading Actress for portraying real-life activist Erin Brockovich. With a career spanning decades, she has a wide acting range, playing all kinds of characters from damsels in distress to empowered career women to loving mothers to Hollywood actresses. A lot of people think of her and envision an enviable smile, hearty laugh, timeless beauty, and the boots she wore in Pretty Woman. While she has all of that going for her, there is so much more to this movie star. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Julia Roberts. Acting is a family business. Her parents, Betty Lou and Walter Roberts, were both actors who founded the Atlanta Actors and Writers Workshop. Her two siblings, Eric and Lisa, also work in showbiz, and Eric is the father of well-known actress Emma Roberts. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Roberts said she never would have become an actress if she didn't grow up in a theatrical family. She said, "I wouldn't have seen it as a real option if my parents weren't actors and my siblings, it just wouldn't have occurred to me. My dad would take my sister and me to plays when we were young, like 6 or 7 years old. We saw Hair in New York on summer vacation. We would go see Yul Brynner do The King and I in Atlanta." Her parents were strong theater lovers and even started a children's theater in their home. Sadly, when she was 4 years old, her parents divorced. She moved to Georgia with her mother and sister Lisa, while Eric and her father Walter stayed in Atlanta. She aimed to be a vet. Despite coming from a family of actors, Roberts actually wanted to be a veterinarian, but she abandoned this dream when she realized that she had an inability to deal with science on a brainiac kind of level. After graduating from high school in 1985, she moved to New York City to live with her sister, who, along with her brother, was pursuing an acting career. The first gig. Roberts has been in the industry for so long, it is kind of hard to keep up with every project she has ever done. However, her very first on-screen role was in NBC's Crime Story in 1987. Roberts was just 19 at the time and portrayed a young survivor of sexual assault named Tracy. She's the reason Richard Gere did Pretty Woman. The chemistry between Richard Gere and Julia Roberts is undeniable, and so it's hard to imagine any other actors in Pretty Woman. However, Gere almost didn't take the part. He was offered the part of Edward Lewis numerous times, but he kept turning it down because he didn't like the part. As a last resort, director Gary Marshall flew Roberts out to New York to talk to Gere in person and try to convince him. She wrote, "Please say yes" on a post-it note and showed it to Gere while he was on the phone with Marshall, and Gere finally agreed. She was the first major payday actress. Roberts won her first Oscar award for her performance in Erin Brockovich. This was one of the most career-changing roles for Roberts. She received a whopping $20 million to play the title role, making her the first female actor to boast that salary for a single film. Before she started shooting Ocean's 11, George Clooney and Brad Pitt played a prank on her. They sent her a card that read, "We heard you get 20 per film," with a $20 bill. She refuses to show too much skin on screen. Roberts has been pretty open about the fact that she does not shoot nude scenes. If it ever appears that Roberts is nude in a scene, she uses tape and keeps her breasts concealed in front of the camera. In 2007, she told E! News, "Listen, there's a reason why you don't see me naked in movies, you don't see me running around in bathing suits in movies, it's just not my thing." She also feels as if acting in her clothes is a performance, but performing with her clothes off would be a documentary. Being a mother also influences the Oscar winner's aversion to appearing naked on film. She starred on Broadway. Not only is she on our big and small screens, but Roberts also made an appearance on Broadway. In 2006, she made her debut in 3 Days of Rain alongside Bradley Cooper and Paul Rudd. While the drama received mixed reviews, it was a huge commercial success, taking in almost $1 million in just its first week, earning more than $12 million for the 12-week run. She turned down the lead role for the supporting one in America's Sweethearts. America's Sweethearts is a lovable romantic comedy that's very self-aware and intentionally plays upon areas like the tabloids, paparazzi, and the cast's own public reputations. Deadline reports that due to Roberts' massive reputation, she was originally offered the lead in the film since the role is so similar to her. However, Roberts wanted to play the supporting character instead, and Catherine Zeta-Jones was put in the leading part. She doesn't shower every day to save water. The topic of celebrities not washing isn't totally new. In fact, even the likes of Julia Roberts have been known to embrace the stink. A few years ago, she admitted that in a bid to be more eco-friendly, she doesn't shower every day. She also revealed to Oprah that she doesn't use deodorant either. She said, "It's just never been my thing." She knits. Aside from being a brilliantly talented actress, Roberts also has an off-screen hobby she loves: knitting. In an interview with The Inquirer, Roberts said she likes doing it because it keeps her busy, but also because it allows her to be social at the same time. She said, "Sally Field taught me to needlepoint when we were doing Steel Magnolias, and Eric Bratt taught me how to knit." The nice thing is, you can be very sociable while knitting. You don't have to be staring at it. So it's a nice thing to do on a movie set. "I have been knitting for a long time, so I think I am pretty good now. I made a bunch of stuff, and now, my daughter knows how to knit as well. She has been known to knit on pretty much every set she steps on."